Hello again. The British government has just announced that the lockdown measures currently in place are to be extended for at least another 3 weeks. This thing has been the cause of so much inconvenience and misery for so many people up and down the country and around the world. But I've done another one. It's episode 2. My life under lockdown has settled into a routine. Days of the week don't seem to matter much anymore, except the bin men still come on a Monday. I've been flouncing around the garden and photographing some of the spring flowers. Even the most commonplace weeds bring a welcome splash of colour in these otherwise dark times. Normally, I wouldn't give most of them a second glance, and I have to Google them to find out what they are. There's wild garlic, which, some would have you believe, can be made into soup or pesto. This lovely pink one is a red campion, or Silene dioica. I already know what this one is though. It's an apple tree, because I remember planting it. It's amazing to think that in just a few short months, these delicate flowers will be replaced by large, juicy apples. If I'm in the country when that happens, I shall make them into a delicious crumble. If not, they will fall to the floor and rot, where they will attract wasps, rats, and other vermin. Well, spring is very much in full swing here in North Somerset, and in the garden I've got maybe half a dozen or so fruit trees. Because they're all different types, they tend to flower at different times. This one at the moment you can see is in full blossom. What I've noticed is there are quite a few bees coming to it, and there is a beehive at the other end of the garden. So what these guys are doing is coming to collect the nectar, of course, which they need to make their honey. I thought it would be nice to try and film them if I possibly can. This turns out to be easier said than done. First I have to find them with the camera, and then I have to get them in focus. Oh, nearly. It's a warm day, so the bees are very active, and they move quickly from flower to flower. But I am very slow. God, they're everywhere except in front of the lens. Well, hold on, that's not even a honeybee. That's something else. Now, the thing about flying insects is that they're incredibly hard to film. They don't stay in one place for very long, and following them is actually really difficult. Not to make excuses for myself, but that's the way it is. So what I think I'm going to do is, rather than try to follow them, I'm going to stay on one flower and see if they come to that flower. Wish me luck. Well, that is some kind of small fly, but I do still see honeybees around. Of course, the moment I move off this flower onto another one, a honeybee will surely land. So tempting as it is to move, I'm going to stick with it. After a while, my patience begins to pay off, and I am rewarded with some near misses. I have a handful of shots of bees' backsides, which, under normal circumstances, would almost certainly not make it to broadcast. Apple trees don't actually generate a great deal of honey, but it's reassuring to know that the bees are going about the important business of pollinating the flowers. Without them, there would be no apples. Well, I'm beginning to lose the light a little bit on this now, so I think we'll call that job done. Having secured my place at this year's Cinematography Awards, it's time for me to get back to my flouncing. Goodbye.